Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the University of Rhode Island's Fine Arts Center Recital Hall. We would like you to take a moment to locate the emergency exit which is closest to your seat. The exits are located on the left and right of the stage and on the right and center in the rear of the hall. At this time, we would ask you to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. And remember that flash photography is not permitted. Thank you for your cooperation, and we hope you enjoy our performance.
Thank you, Ben. Stop. Check, check. Is it on? I thought I pressed it. I wish I had the magic. I wish I had the magic touch. Can you hear me now? Yes. Hear me through the mic, I mean. Yes. Thank you very, very much. And I am going to say just a few words to provide a bit of a roadmap for today's program. First of all, allow me to express our heartfelt gratitude to Mark Conley, University of Rhode Island, and all the numerous stakeholders who've made today's work possible. Voices 21C has a historic relationship with the University of Rhode Island through so many singers and artists and musicians who've been part of our work since its very founding. So they're too many and too numerous to name. In fact, we have a joke that we have the Rhode Island Love Farm is one of our key locations, and so we're actually now happy to be in the Rhode Island Love Farm. And speaking of love, that's what it brings us to this idea of Martin Luther King's to create the beloved community. Martin Luther King said, "The aftermath of nonviolence is the creation of the beloved community, whereas the aftermath of violence is bitterness." Today's program, the Voices 21C, is bringing to you, in collaboration with Mark Conley and the Concert Choir of the University of Rhode Island, is in fact the whole concept of the creation of the beloved community as a dimension of freedom dreaming. And so at the center point of our program, you will hear what is perhaps a popular African-American spiritual called "Rock of My Soul in the Bosom of Abraham." And the bosom of Abraham is a kind of a theological concept, this idea of the bosom of Abraham. In fact, what it means to be rocked in the soul, in the bosom, is a sense of being nestled, of being cradled, of being held, of being safe. And what we say to all of you here today, and all the people who we engage with whom we engage, we say, you are safe, all of you recognized, all dimensions of you are loved, and we say to you today, regardless of your religion, your politics, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, that we are all acknowledged and all affirmed. And this spiritual occupies a center point for our work today. It's an aspiration to create the beloved community. And so this Rock My Soul is a piece that occupies a center point, and also a means in which we continue to engage with two of our beloved partners, Truth, and that's Truth. Can I ask you to stand, Truth? and Onyx White. Truth and I worked together for a long time when I was working in the Norfolk men's prison, and Truth was incarcerated in the men's prison in Massachusetts for many years, and completed his undergraduate degree completely while he was incarcerated. I didn't have the pleasure of getting to know Onyx when he was in the Norfolk Men's Prison, but I remember getting a phone call one day from this wonderful person called Onyx, who writes this fantastic poetry and is a musician. So they are really a part of our community, and we're so happy that they continue to have confidence in us and to be collaborating. So, as I said, that's the center point of the piece. And on either side, we have a whole range of pieces that explore humanity and justice. We look at gender identity. We look at race. We talk about we who believe in freedom cannot rest until the killing of black men, black mothers, sons is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers, sons. And we need to understand how race is continuing to divide this country, as are so many dimensions of injustice. We look at forced migration, and you'll hear that when we perform a piece, She Took His Hands. We reference safety in many different kinds of ways. So I want to invite you to be with us in this journey as we take ourselves through this. We're happy, really, that our partners, Consequai, are going to float in and out of this narrative that we are going to be together with. After the program, we're going to have a question and answer discussion, and we hope that you will remain. The program is not a long one, and it's probably less than an hour. And then after that, if you're going to remain, and we are happy to engage and talk to you and be in discussion. Thank you once again, and welcome to this program. Prophet Ibn Arabi said in the 13th century the same words that Martin Luther King says, we believe in the religion of love. And today we acknowledge that love is what we need to bring people together. We recognize that the land that we're on is stolen land. We recognize that the land we're on, the Narragansett, Atlantic people's land, or the land anywhere, is on stolen land. That we committed genocide to settle this country. And to settle this country, we brought Africans, we enslaved them. We destroyed stories, poetry, music, and people. These legacies, these crimes are interwoven today as we continue to inherit the systems of justice. And we say today, enough. Let's create the beloved community.
There are blood memories that have been forgotten. There are voices that have been silenced, bodies that have been brutalized. And yet, we long for a place that's safe, to be cradled, to be held. Let this be our song. Let this be our anthem, to be held lovingly in the bosom of Abraham.
When he died, he found a home in the pit.
Say her name. Why? Why do we say their names? Because if we don't, who will? There's murders, people's lives being taken, sisters, brothers. And if we just ignore them, then where are we living? What do we decide? Are we living in a society where we're just gonna let anything happen? Or are we gonna make our path? Everybody has a voice, everybody. And together, unified, it's more than a voice. It's a movement. And in a movement, that's where you see change.
Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. She cannot be forgotten by us. Say her name. 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 She cannot be forgotten by us. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Her name in the air. Put her name in the air. Put her name in the air. Put her name in the air. Say her name. Put her name in the air. Say her name. In the air. She cannot be forgotten. Put her name in the air. Say her name. Say her name. Sandra Bland.
Charlie Zapata.
Her name in the air. Put her name.
Cache Henderson.
Breonna Taylor.
Rokita Boyd.
Put her name in. Rita Hester. Put her name in the air. Put her name in the air. Put her name in the air. Say his
it'd be fair to assume I've done some things. Seen a few. Enough to understand that some views are just better seen from a distance. And I come from where black dads pitch tents amongst their pillagers. Then convince themselves that the bigots within their midst don't exist. But I guess when you've been in the bowl so long, a chance always exists for you to forget who the fish is. I took a mental note. Truth don't let the contagion enslave you. I was introduced to religion and drug dealing, in both cases over-dependent on a white savior. So when old dad sold his soul, I had to ditch him. Found myself exiled from the privilege. Cool, I took my tutelage from the sewage, raised by the villagers. Crooked investments with a handful of killer immigrants, the type to break night back porch, shuffling stones, bickering over dominoes and cribbages. Worst half of us did it for the thrill. So when the brethren got spilled, he left an affidavit for me in his will, just in case. He said that will be one less footprint I need erased. He used to urge me to take heed to my reservations and lean on middlemen to increase degrees of separation. In the due time, you'll observe homegrown terrorists emerge from minor rifts within the circle, or your best friends might try to earth you, or next worst bet, he's singing falsetto, drunk off the truth serum, and he's headlining at the proceedings, secreting all the juicy deets from your secret meetings. But I dodged the bullet. Their investigation grazed me. A few secret indictments I eluded OT, forced to abort mission, held fast to the vision, held water long enough. Eventually they quit fishing. I could say that of all I've observed, I never uttered what I saw, kept my word, only inclined to lie to the law. Seen one too many right hands turn double agent, occupied cells with one too many mental patients. But it seems some wisdom just has to come hard-earned. When you fail fast and you wrong strong, and you amass a vast bulk of your earnings off polluting urines, prone to dive headlong where most angels don't tread. I had to keep my high horse's peripherals blinded. Cursed with the paper's impatience. Prone to take it there, even all my closest friends. But in my defense, I took the straights with all the curves. Learn a man can't finance trust, much less buy loyalty. They robbed me for 75 large in lawyer fees. Could have been the aftermath of all the half-truths I bounced between. Could be less. Could be greed. Could be my people's words wasn't matching up with their deeds. Could be I'm tired and I'm angered at the thought my entire 20s is lost and my 30s is in danger. It's been 44 seasons since I weaned myself off the reefer, yet the jail water's still eroding my features. My desires hold me hostage. I don't smile much beyond the margins, but I can't harken back to yesteryear when the OG told me, he said, son, On your way back from the atrophy, fix your face. In time, you'll acquire a taste for the negative space. Illusions won't veto the truth. The ego won't play the keynote, and the grass will always stay greener on the side where it rains. Give it time, you'll see bad karma won't stick to your frame. You'll flick plastic and wishing wells. Charge it to your name. As far as the prison yard, run laps. Bus sets. Keep conviction in your step, and in due time, you'll pay that part forward to your legacy.
She took Saulito's hands and said to him very calmly, "They can't hurt us. God is protecting us. You just have to have faith, and I will be fine, and with you soon."
She took his hands. 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 She took his hands.
soon.
I will be fine.
I will be fine. I will be with you soon. I will be fine. I will be with you soon. I will be fine. I will be with you soon. Have faith, have faith, have faith. I will be with you soon. She took his hands. She took his hands.
She took his hands, I
She
took
took his hands.
She took his hands, I took
I will be with you soon. His hands. His hands. His hands. Sus.
Dos cuerpos frente a frente, two bodies facing each other, two human beings sharing common dreams, two human beings tied together in common humanity, two human beings falling like stars together, two human beings facing each other through walls, through borders, are still two human beings who aspire and dream to be together.
Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic, convict, or spy? Would you harbor a runaway woman or child, a poet, a prophet, a king? Would you harbor an exile or a refugee, or person living with AIDS? Would you harbor a Tubman, a Garrett, a Truth, a fugitive, or a slave? Would you harbor an Afghan, a Haitian, a Kurd, a lesbian, or a gay?
Would you harbor me? Would you harbor me if you knew the truth? If you knew that I've been to prison for some unthinkable things, that I've been the cause of bloodshed, that I've been the cause of a lot of misery in life? Would you harbor me if you knew the other side, if you knew the reasons behind that? Would you accept me into your home? Or would you judge me? Would you harbor me? Would you harbor me as a human, as someone that's still learning? Would you harbor me?
Would you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic, convict, or spy? Would you harbor a runaway woman or child, a poet, a prophet, a king? Would you harbor an exile or a refugee, or person living with AIDS? Would you harbor a Tubman, a Garrett, a Truth, a fugitive, or a slave? Would you harbor an Afghan, a Haitian, a Kurd, a lesbian, or a gay? Or would you harbor me?
Many times I was killed, and I carried on singing. Many times I was disappeared, and I carried on singing. Singing to the sun, like a cicada does after a year underground, like a soldier who is coming home from war.
virgin love child of the 13th Amendment. Born fully formed, a King Cotton descendant. Smack dab at the movable center of my very own theory of freedom. Persecuted for my panache, it's strange the way they hate the sun, romanticize the mirage. I had them. I had them hopelessly seduced by the black Shakespearean. They had me tied up, noosed. All I could do was bask in the experience. But I swear, it's almost like they strung me up just to cut me down. Had they string light and weaves all through my barbed wire crown, they left me spinning in the wind just adjacent to the duck pond oasis. I was reincarnated in the form inordinate field Negro swan front lawn ornament. All consumed. I was the low-hanging poisonous produce. I was the leaf, the pre-shrivel right before the bloom, something like the short shelf life for a half-shelled seed, or the divine wrinkle in the timesheet, the sliced ear, the plucked eye. I was the dull sword you learned to live by. I was the false teeth you grit to keep your misdeeds discreet, not the Judas, but the dry wineskin you knew was bound to leak. I was the foot kiss. I was the Decalogue. I was Solomon's unsheathed sword. I was the surviving baby's first word to talk therapy to the death row thief, the blind spot on Judgment Day. I was the exoneration brief. I've been everything. I've been everything. I've been the dark age navigant, the blank page narrative, the paradox of a promiscuous sage. And you can always tell a spirit by its blunders. And more times they tend to be gender identified. So, what's a sex gig to a homicide with the same motive and the same moral? I've been everything. I've been one with my memories. You kill a man, it's one way to become one with your enemies. I've been everything. I've been everything.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot
The soul yearns for safety. Rock of my soul in the bosom of Abraham. That we can all be safe together. That we can all be loved. That we can all be acknowledged. That we can all be affirmed. Rock of my soul in the bosom of Abraham, we
Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham.
floor?
Sorry?
Should we do the morning from the floor?
Yes.
Yes, okay, all right. So, first of all, I want to thank André de Quadros and Voices 21C for coming and working with our students in workshop and providing opportunities for us to join them in the concert. So thank you very much to them. When we were working on all of this, we also wanted to bring a gift to them. And so from my time in Mozambique, when I was working with the choirs up in the Nyasa province, I learned a lot of songs, but this was one of my favorites. And the basic translation is, when we die, eventually, we will go to heaven. And when we go there, we will sing songs of great happiness, because together we will see our brethren all together at the throne of the Lord. And then we sing a refrain, Moni wamtendere ti da patsana. We will give each other greetings of peace forever and ever. And we will get to a point where you might even know some of the words, and maybe you can join us at that point. Can I have an evening?
Sure. This is a moment for reflection of any kind that you may have, and I'm obviously holding a mic, but I can certainly pass the mic around. Might be the idea of question and answer seems a little bit as if we've got answers and you have questions, and that is actually not necessarily the case. We have questions and you might have answers, but in any case, perhaps might be a better way to say is time for reflection and time for feeling and time for just telling us how you feel. That might be might be a good way to get some conversation going. Do I see a hand somewhere? Oh, question. I have a question too, by the way.
I was curious about your choice of lighting for each of the pieces and what the lighting reflects in the songs.
I have no answer to that question because I don't know, and maybe somebody else knows more, and I'm sure that's fine. I was actually thinking sometimes, I thought maybe there's a, I guess a question is, oh, it's okay. Brad, go ahead.
So we didn't get to work on the lighting in here, and so we appreciate the lighting team who just put up. We gave them a sketch of our entire outline with feelings attached to it and some colors, and so they kind of took it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake and Ethan, very much. I always think that the people who make all this thing happen, like Jake and Ethan, are the ones who very often who get, perhaps they're doing this silent work, which is incredible. Any non-question feeling type things that you might want to say? Yes, David.
Thank you, Andre. I just want to say thank you to all you performers up there. You guys did a wonderful job. Even you guys from URI, the chorus, in collaboration with Voices 21C. Definitely got to give a big shout out to my brother Truth over there, man. He always brings a real sound. God has definitely gifted you with a wonderful, wonderful tool, man. I'm so appreciative to be able to be here in your presence and see what it is that you're doing. And I definitely am super grateful for Andre for allowing this platform to happen, allow this foundation to continue to be built on, because at the end of the day, social justice is something that most people turn their back to. It's kind of one of those things where, I don't really want to talk about those that have been incarcerated. I don't want to talk about those that have been harmed. But everybody in this room has been harmed at some point in their life. Just like everybody in this room has also done some harming. So forgiveness, yes, is one thing, but the movement is about the action and just using your voices to create a spark, to create something that may happen within one of us in this audience, to just bring that message forward is just such a blessing. So I really appreciate you guys, and continue to do the work that you're doing, because people are listening and people are feeling, Andre, feeling. I felt every single syllable. Music is something that got me through a lot of times, so definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you. God bless.
Anyone else? Yes, please. Sam, Sam?
Yes.
Sam.
Yeah. In adding to that, I've talked to a couple of you today, and talking about how my semester has really had a lot of focus on social justice, and with that, a lot of frustration that I felt. And you have all brought a lot of hope and a lot of joy to my life. And just, it's amazing work that you're doing, and I thank you very much for it, because it's you that helps the rest of us keep going and keep fighting, and know that there is a lot of hope and a lot of love that's going to get us there at the end. So thank you.
I just wanted to say, as a future music educator, and you guys really, this was an incredible experience. I don't know what I was expecting coming today, but just to be able to perform with you guys, to use our talents as musicians to speak this amazing message. Thank you so much for this experience. It was incredible. And Onyx and Truth, your words were absolutely beautiful, and it really, really spoke to me. And I'm sure everyone else in this audience, so please keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, going off of Abby, I feel like the pieces that you guys chose that we also got to perform with you guys, or like we've been singing this semester, I can tell that those are the ones that everyone has really connected the most with. And just being able to perform with you guys made us all like feel so like great and loved, and that there is like a community outside of this, which we all know, but it's different when you actually get to experience it with so many different types of people. And it's so nice that there's also URI people, alumni that are here as well. And just that, along with all of the stuff that you like performed without us. Like there was one point, there was a poem and I started to tear up, and then I looked over at Lauren, she was also tearing up, and then I almost started bawling my eyes out. I really had to stop myself just because I was so moved just hearing everyone else's experiences. And just like, again, even Sam was saying, like this has been such a frustrating semester in terms of social justice, and so to hear it from you guys as well as our own community and the people that we're surrounded by every day just makes us feel so great.
Louise?
We keep talking about community as the central theme, and I think it was so special today that we came in the room and there was this dance of like we didn't know how to communicate with each other or what the balance was, and how, we started singing together and how rapidly that became, like I was looking to you all in certain pieces of music, I was looking at the people surrounding me, and we shared these really special moments together, and it kind of erased that kind of awkward, who is this new person, how am I going to communicate with them, what are our roles here? That kind of all faded away, that wasn't important, and so I think that was really special to be able to build that here today. And I keep hearing from kind of everyone the word hope, and I think so many of you as educators right now, there's a lot of conversation and frankly a lot of fear-mongering about social justice in academic spaces and in educational spaces. So your work, particularly as educators, is something that is so, so crucial to the moment right now. And I just want to thank you all for doing that work inside of your classrooms and outside of your classrooms. And to hopefully inspire the music education students here and all students here to continue that when there's so much effort to suppress it in our legislation in this country right now. So.
So I would just like to say that I'm someone who has always loved music, and I've experienced some things that you guys were like talking about today, and growing up and like thinking about what I wanted to do with my life, I was like, well, my passion is music, but I was always sitting and like feeling like, okay, there's all these unfair things that are happening and so many people that are unseen. And as someone that like experienced people like judging you instead of like taking you in and loving you, it was really hard for me to like find what I wanted to do in college because I felt like I couldn't be an activist. And so like having this entire experience and seeing people that are doing the exact same thing that like I find all my joy in, but they're spreading a message that like I've been wanting to like spread myself like in my adult life was just very inspiring. And it's like, okay, I can do this thing that I love and also like, you know, be there for other people. And I just want to thank you guys because it was an extremely amazing experience. And sorry. And I just like, I don't know, I'm really glad that this happened, and every single one of you has been so wonderful today, so thank you very much.
So I just wanted to, continue what everyone else is saying, and you guys all here have a gift and talent. And a lot of people have that, but it's not the gifts and the talents that you have, it's what you do with them. And it takes a lot of courage to go against what society does and things like that, to get up here and use your talent and your gifts to make a difference in this world. And I think that especially in the time that we are now, it gets very disheartening. And I find myself just kind of going through the motions and starting to kind of feel content with the way that things are. But it takes people like you to inspire everyone else to get back on track and back to pushing forward and getting to a spot where we all know that we can be. So I came in here, feeling that, and I feel completely different. than I did just in these couple hours working with you guys. And so I cannot thank you enough for what you're doing, and I know that it's kind of a thankless job, but you guys are making a difference and you're making a change, and I appreciate that.
Just like so amazing. Every voice was just so like powerful, and I could like feel it in my whole body, like full body chills all throughout these hours. But I was wondering like what was like the process behind those movements in Truth's last poetry part? What was it planned out? Like, what was it trying to convey?
It's true, Brad. I mean, I think it's really wonderful. If I don't answer these questions.
I'm wondering if before we answer it, if Truth, you can talk about how it feels for you, because a lot of it is improvised. And so Truth, since you're going to say something anyway, do you want to speak to what that process is for you?
Yeah, sure. Great question, by the way. So, I think, so I'm not sure how, like Brad said, like a lot of it is improvised, but it was kind of just like, it made sense the way that it kind of came together. So I've been home for about almost 6 months. And I served 16 years, and there was a lot for me to navigate over that 16 years, right? Internally and just navigating the prison system. So I think what we saw on stage was the world and the environment and the people that I was surrounded by kind of reacting to me, and me striving to navigate those reactions, right? And me reacting to the reactions, right? So that's pretty much what, the past, well, really my whole life has been, right? Just reacting to other people reacting to me. In some ways, some of my reactions were informed, some of them were desperate, some of them were thoughtless, some of them were trauma-informed or trauma-induced. But yeah, like when I was introduced to Andre through the BU program in Norfolk, I met him at a time when I was just experimenting with the arts as a means of kind of like processing what was happening to me, processing what I was going through in that space. And everything was like out of desperation, right? Like my experimentation with the arts, desperation. My social advocacy within the prison, like desperation. Like I said in the piece, like freedom has just been a theory for the past, I guess forever, right? Still is. So it was just me kind of just feeling my way through that. And trying to provide some context and explanation for the harms I had done and the harms I had survived, right? So I started a project while I was incarcerated called Explanations from Exile. It started off as a writing project, but now that I'm home, it's like we're expanding upon that just with different like multimedia expressions. So you can check it. You can check out the site at explanationsfromexile.com. You can follow us on Instagram just to get like a little more shameless plug. What's up? But I hear a lot of people talk about social justice in here, so I figured, I'm amongst friends. So yeah, if you're interested in learning more about the work we've been doing, a lot of collaborative work with Voices 21C, yeah, please. So no, I appreciate that question. I appreciate everybody, especially the students. I'm sorry. You all were amazing. Like the texture you brought to this performance was like, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So really appreciate you.
to answer a little bit more around the staging element, one of the things that I really love that we do as a group is we leave a lot of room for improvisation in performance. So we create these kind of templates or these kind of, I don't know, buckets, if you will, that we get to fill with our own narrative. And so for me, when Truth is doing Virgin Love Child, that poem, where we're all kind of finding ways to distance ourselves from and also draw into, I'm thinking a lot about how we often separate ourselves from other people. We create distance and space between someone else, and particularly around incarceration, we say, well, I wouldn't do that. Well, they deserve that because, I would never do something that awful to another human being, or I would never hurt someone that way. We create distance as opposed to finding bridges and building bridges of connection to see the humanity in another person that is different from us or who would act differently and seek to understand why that is. And so for me, that's what's going through my head, trying to find those moments in the narrative where I feel drawn into what you're saying because it so resonates with my experience, and moments where I might push back and say, no, I wouldn't, no, I can't, I don't. Find that distance. So those are just some of the things that we're playing with in our staging.
We would love to take just maybe 2 or 3 more comments or questions if there's any, just to close out. If there's any final thoughts. Wasn't me.
Is that a hand raiser?
Force somebody to raise their hand.
I should also, maybe you should raise Onyx. Oh, sorry. I wonder if you'd like to add a few words.
I wonder if you'd like to add a few words about anything.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess I will. Onyx White, I was introduced by Andre. I kind of feel it was like off of a luck stroke, because like when I was moving like towards the go home, I was going to like a minimum, and somebody gave me his number on the last day. They was like, listen, make sure if you forget anything, don't forget this. And they gave me, and I've been like in communication with him. I would have loved to go to BU, but how it is like when you're incarcerated, there's a lot of things that you just don't have. All right, so certain prisons had BU, but it's hard to get in any school and all that stuff. So, college education in general is very important, because a lot of times people are committing like crimes and doing different things. It's because of lack of knowledge, lack of resources, and it grows desperation. So anybody that's at their lowest point or desperate, you would be surprised what you would do at your most vulnerable spot and desperate spot. So I mean, with prison, it's that time where you have nothing. So the world is just going around and you're just stuck, and you're watching people grow from pitches. People die, certain things. So now you're starting to think and take things in, and you're starting to look at the world a little different. So yeah, with this project with 21C, it's explaining all that through art. Most people, or I'd say no matter what language, what barrier, everybody listens to music. Everybody, so that's a connection right there to find humane subject. And when Andre was talking about basically, it was Kristen, when she was talking about a lot of people, they see people incarcerated, and then they come, with, prejudge or something like that. But it's just everybody's circumstances are different, and the upbringing is very important. So whatever you have, like as far as knowledge, it's not about dollars. It's about knowledge, resources, networking. You can share that with somebody, and at least give somebody an option. Because some people, we all have options, but the difference is some people see their options, others don't, and that's what life is. So yeah.
I just want to recognize 2 of our Voices 21C folks who are here, Chad and Nicolette. I just want to say hello. They're card-carrying members of the resistance, so happy that you're here with us.
It's her birthday. Where's she at? We all gotta sing it again. We all gotta sing it again. One time. Who's gonna win?
last year, actually. I think we're done. Brad's giving me the wind-up sequence. So last one to say.
The final thing we'll say is that Voices 21C, we don't like to just go into a community and perform and then walk out and say, okay, that was nice. It is nice and it calls our attention, but we want to make sure you know that there are places you can go on our website where you can actually take action. So if you follow the QR code and you go to the program page for this site, we connect you to every resource we use to build this program. We have nonprofits local to Massachusetts, we have some local to Rhode Island that can help with matters related to incarceration and other civil liberties actions. So please go check out our website and find a way you can take action if this performance spoke to you today so that you can move forward with it. Thank you all.